Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel and I hope you're all doing well. We have planned a day out at the beach. We are currently in Devon and this is probably the start of our nomad adventures. We do have a little bit of a period. Tomorrow actually we drive back to our home, our main base as it is now, to finish moving out. So we are pretty much moved out of that house now. We've moved most of the bits that we need in the storage unit There's just a few little bits and bats that obviously for the last week or so there we wanted to be comfortable and still have things like the TV and the beds. But yeah, so we're pretty much moved out, and then yeah, we start our adventures. We have nipped down to Devon, and this is the first time that I've been to Devon properly. We've been to Devon for like a day trip. We tend to venture more into Cornwall, so we'll drive through Devon and stop in Cornwall, and then we've had like a day trip. If we've been on like the Devon side of Cornwall, we've had a day trip in Devon. I think we went to a farm shop, so we didn't actually explore actual Devon. But yeah, this is the first time. So we've been doing a house sit actually in Plymouth, and that is how we are going to be getting about whilst we were doing our nomadic travels. We are going to be doing a lot of house sits, and then in between that we'll be stopping at some beautiful places as well. And yeah, I thought I'd jump on here. We are just waiting to go out for the day. So now seemed like the perfect time just to answer a few questions that I have been getting a lot recently. And yeah, it's obviously stuff that people are interested in. Maybe it'll be of interest for you guys, especially if you are thinking of starting to go nomad yourself. We are a family of 4, so obviously these questions are tailored to us as a family of 4 with 2 young children. But yeah, hopefully it will be of some use to you guys. So the first question that I get asked a lot is, why are we deciding to do this? And to be honest, it's something that we've wanted to do for years. Even before we had kids, we wanted to do a little bit of traveling, and then I don't know, we were just always finding excuses not to do it. And we've made the decision that we want to settle down the south of England, Cornwall way. We kind of said to ourselves like, oh, we'll do that first and then we'll do some travelling afterwards. But it started getting to the point where we was like, well, once we buy a house down there, we'll be probably tied up in renovation jobs and all that kind of thing. And it just seemed like another excuse not to do it. And also there was time on our hands, so our children aren't getting any younger, and we wanted to experience it when they're of an age where they can still remember it all, but they're not having to, you know, knuckle down and focus on schooling stuff, preparing for college if they decide to go to college and whatnot. So our children are currently 5 and 8, and yeah, we just thought that that was the perfect time. So we are currently homeschooling. I say currently, we intend to homeschool for the foreseeable now. I don't really have any intentions to put them back into school. They have settled into homeschooling really, really well. And yeah, as long as we're all enjoying it, there's no reason for us to put them back into school. Obviously, when we are settled and when they start high school and stuff, we'll have a conversation around that, see how they feel. You know, they are more than capable of making decisions for themselves at that age. If they want to try out high school, then I'm not going to stop them. But yeah, for now it's working for us all. We just thought this was the perfect opportunity to just go ahead and do it. We found a way that we could do it and also save money. I'm a tattoo artist, so I can, especially in the UK, I can find places to work really, really easy. And I've obviously got my online business as well with Your Magic World, the membership. Yeah, it just seemed like the perfect time to do it. we started just feeling very, very stagnant and stuck in the same routines. I was really craving just a little bit more freedom, and yeah, this is the best way for us to do it. Obviously, being able to just bounce around, currently the UK, wherever we want to go, and eventually we will be heading abroad too. I, as a person as well, I love a routine, but sometimes I can get too stuck into the same routines to the point where it does start affecting me mentally as well. I start feeling really stuck, I start feeling really drained and just repetitive, and like there's no room for anything spontaneous. And yeah, I just needed to get out of that. And I mean, what's more spontaneous than traveling and waking up somewhere new every few weeks or so? So yeah, I feel like it'll get me, I'll still be able to create some kind of routine, but it will get me stuck out of that rigid routine that just wasn't doing me any favors. Another question that I get all the time, which I've kind of touched on already, is money. How are we making money? So obviously, like I say, I'm a tattoo artist, so whilst we are in the UK, I am just any place we go, I will message some artists that I already have contact with on Instagram or know already personally, have met them before through the industry, and just asking if I can work at their studio as a guest. So I'll be a guest artist, this is what they call it in the tattoo industry, a guest at their studio. And yeah, just stopping at a place. Like I say, we're doing these house sits as well. So the house sits, we use a site called Trusted House Sitters, and we basically sign up. You pay like an annual fee, and I can't remember how much we paid, but it really wasn't that much in the grand scheme of things. I think it was like around the £200 mark for the year, and then that's it. That's all we have to pay. And it's basically like a site. You can see, you know, all the different places, and it's not just the UK as well. There's loads in America, there's loads in Australia, Europe, all over the world basically. But obviously for now we're sticking with the UK. You can, you know, type out places that you want to go, and all the available sits in and around that area will come up, and you just find what is a right match for you. Obviously, it's not like booking an Airbnb or a hotel room where you can just click it, pay for it, and that's yours. You have to apply. Now, there have been sometimes when it's been a bit difficult because we've got the two children, and obviously whilst we're house sitting, a lot of the time you are looking after animals as well. So it's important that we are making sure that our children are in a safe environment, especially when it comes to dogs. So we make it very clear, and I'm pretty sure that the owners as well will want to make sure that their animals are in an environment that they're comfortable with. And if the dogs aren't suitable around children, then we would rather them say, and vice versa. I'm sure that they would, you know, not put their dogs in a situation where they're not comfortable either. So that's been the only thing that has, you know, we've had a few people decline our application because of the children. But that being said, it's been very, very easy as well. We have managed to book up our schedule. We are currently in April, and we are booked up more or less back to back up until mid-September or something. I did overcompensate. I started applying because I didn't realise how easy it would be. Yeah, we've just ended up getting accepted for loads of house sits. And like this house sit that we're doing right now, so this is one in Devon. We're looking after 2 cats. One's sleeping next to me right now. 2 cats and 2 dogs. And it's an absolutely beautiful house, beautiful location, big gardens, and the bedrooms are beautifully laid out. Obviously, you're in someone's house, so you've got to, you know, obviously look after the house, keep it clean and stuff. It's not like an Airbnb where they have cleaners come in and there's the added responsibility of looking after the pets, but honestly that does not faze us at all. We are absolutely loving it, and I don't know why we've not done it sooner. So yeah, going back to the main question of money, obviously we are saving a hell of a lot of money with that, because we don't have the overheads of bills and rent and mortgages, you know, all them kind of things. We don't have to pay that. The only thing that we're paying for is petrol and food, and then, you know, any other little bills that we have along the way. Obviously we're stepping into the realms of YouTube as well, so hopefully as this YouTube grows we'll be able to make a little bit of income from this as well. My partner, he's pretty handy with a camera, so he'll be creating lots of beautiful content for me for my social media to help grow things there as well. So yeah, it's just about seeing where we get to with that. But like I say, I'm a tattoo artist and I already have an online business, so we, you know, can fall back on that as well. Obviously that's not going to be the case for everyone. I think it does help that if you do have either like a digital online job or a job like me as an artist where I can travel, yeah, it's easy. But if not, you do need to just save money to go nomad. That's how a lot of travelers do it. They save up a bunch of money and then they can take time off work and do it that way. One question that I did always get asked was, are you taking the kids with you? And I know that a lot of people did then will think, well, obviously, and it did make me laugh because obviously, yes, I wouldn't just like leave them like, so long guys, I'll see you whenever. They are my children, I will be taking them with me. So yeah, that were another question that was probably the most asked question about the children. Then it followed up with like, so are you going to be homeschooling? And yeah, that's a whole nother thing. So if people want to learn more about that and what we're doing, feel free to let me know in the comments. I have actually, one thing that we're going to be doing when we get back from our walk down at the beach, we've just bought these. So we nipped into Hobbycraft. I got some new paintbrushes. We've already got a craft bag. My partner bought us this like bag. It's not this bag, but it's same sort of sizing as this. And it's got all these different compartments and stuff, and that is our craft bag. I put my watercolours in there. I love to do embroidery as well, and I cannot wait. That's one thing I can't wait with getting on the road properly, is being able to dive back into all the artistic practices that I've fallen sort of behind with. And I say fallen behind, like I've not done them for years just because tattooing literally took over. So before we did this, we had our own studio. That takes up a lot of time in itself. And then obviously with tattooing, it's not just the time tattooing, like there's all the admin behind the scenes, there's all the drawing behind the scenes. It did take over my life quite a bit. Whereas with this, I'm sort of like concentrating my tattooing time to just a couple of times a week, a couple of days a week, should I say. And yeah, like I say, we're saving a lot of money, so the need to work so much isn't there. So I have more time to get into my watercolour practices and embroidery. So yeah, I've got all that stuff in the craft bag, and then obviously stuff for the kids as well. And one thing that we wanted to do was each week we wanted to, we'll be going on a lot of walks anyway with the dogs, but I wanted to find a new botanical, floral, anything along the way throughout the year. Once a week we focus on one flower. So this week's is forget-me-nots. What we're going to do is they've each got a little journal, and this is going to be the flower journal, botanical journal, I don't know what to call it yet, but each week we'll fill out a page, and it's going to be different levels because obviously I've got a 5-year-old and I've got an 8-year-old who's almost 9, but we're going to paint the flower, learn about it, learn about the folklore, learn about the medicinal properties if there are any. With Hendrik, we'll do a bit of handwriting and looking at the visual representation. So Blue, they're quite little, and he can practice writing them out and write his own little sentence about it. With Indy, we'll go into a little bit more depth about it. Like I say, maybe writing about the folklore and stuff. But yeah, we're going to paint it, and yeah, hopefully we will fill this book with lots of different flowers, and that's something that they can keep then and, you know, continue to learn along the way. I also got this. I wasn't really happy with this choice of book. I wanted to have like a proper book like that, but better quality, maybe hardback, but they didn't have any watercolor ones. And then I'm kind of just thinking maybe I should have just got one of the books that were a little bit, well, I don't know, more like sketchbooks, and that would have been fine. But I panicked and I got that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing this afternoon after the walk. We're going to be looking at forget-me-nots and learning about that. So that's one thing that we're going to be doing, homeschooling. Obviously, that is just a little snippet. Yeah, I thought I'd mention that because I had the stuff with me. Another thing I always get asked is, am I scared or nervous? Or a lot of people say to me like they'd love to do it, but they are too scared, too anxious to do anything like that. For me, I'm not really an anxious person. I'm quite lucky in that sense. I do get anxious from time to time, but it's not something like this, just really doesn't bother me. What makes me more anxious is thinking about looking back and not actually doing this and being like, oh, why didn't we do it? That makes me more scared. So I'd rather just do it. I'm one of those kind of people who, once I get an idea in my head, I'm like, well, let's just do it. Let's just make it work. And yeah, this is working out really well for us so far. So yeah, to answer that, no, not nervous. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be bloody hard because we've got obviously the two kids. Me and my partner, we've had a discussion and we've said we're going to make sure that each of us has time each week, whether, you know, it's 2 to 4 hours where I will take the kids out, whether it's a long walk or we go to the beach for a few hours, and he can just have his time to himself just to decompress, and vice versa. Same with me. Obviously I'll be tattooing in between. I've said that doesn't count as like my time. I know that I'm away from the kids and I'm away from him, but I'm still working, so I'm, you know, I'm not actually being able to fully shut off. So yeah, just juggling that in between and just making sure that we look after each other's mental health, I suppose, and making sure that we're not too overwhelmed with it all. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, the kids are pretty, I say pretty chill. They're not chill at all, but they'll listen, you know. And if we say, right, we just need a bit of downtime, we just need a chill day or whatever, then they won't kick up a fuss about it. So yeah, they are the main questions. I do have to get ready to leave. I am going to be filming our trip out, so we're doing a little vlog style, so please stay along for the video just to see where we are going. So we're going to somewhere called Hope Cove, I believe. Michael's done the research on all of this, said there's a really lovely walk that's not too difficult. So fingers crossed, more thinking for the kids rather than me, but yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. It's a gloriously sunny day, so it's going to be lovely. And yeah, there's a nice beach and nice little shops. I've just said anything quaint and has a beach, that's my vibe. But for now, I'm going to leave it there in regards to the Nomad questions. But if anyone does have any other questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments. I will probably say more as we go along the way. My aim is to try and get a video out each week. And obviously we'll be going to different various places. I will be doing vlog style content, so we'll video the things that we get up to and things we do along the way.
These memories will stay with me.
Just gonna finish the vlog here now, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, it was actually a really lovely day. We've had glorious sunshine all day, and yeah, it was a really nice walk. So the cove we went to was Hope Cove, and then we went to the cove for lunch. They made these amazing pizzas. We had margarita, pepperoni pizzas, some chips, and we shared that between us and walked back to the car. Had ice creams and walked back to the car, and it was just so lovely and wholesome. So yeah, that was really enjoyable. Highly recommend that walk. We did the coastal walk up to the sort of cliff tops. I think there is a bit of a longer route, but we just sort of walked to the top, took in the views, and then walked back down. There was someone warned us that they'd seen an adder snake on the way up, so we were really excited to see one of those. Obviously we were a bit cautious because we had the dogs. My little girl was petrified. I mean it could be scary, couldn't it? But yeah, up north we don't have adder snakes, so we were kind of hoping to see one, but we didn't see one. Yeah, so that was lovely. So we walked up there. It really didn't take too long. It wasn't really that strenuous. Kids were absolutely fine. I mean, Hendrik's 5, Indy's 8, nearly 9, and they were absolutely fine. Hendrik was actually walking up in his Crocs because he decided he wanted to wear Crocs today, and it was absolutely fine for him. There were a bit of information about the Iron Age. I let Michael take the lead with teaching the kids about that. There was like a little plaque stand with information there. But yeah, that was really nice. Took in some views of the yachts and stuff. Obviously, I put some videos in this vlog. And then, yeah, straight back down for lunch. Came back home and yeah, we did a little bit of homeschooling and we did the forget me not paintings. So that was really lovely in the garden. And yeah, I'm ready to wind down now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have an early night and read my book. But yeah, if anyone has any recommendations of the type of things you want to see, obviously I love anything witchy, seasonal living as well. And we do have Beltane coming up. That's actually this week, and I would really love to try and get a video out before then as well. But yeah, stuff like that. If you like that kind of stuff, full moons, like maybe some educational videos. I think I want to keep it like quite vlog based, but maybe have some educational little bits in between, where we talk maybe about like an upcoming full moon or a Sabbath coming up. I mean, now that I'm talking about it, I could have maybe done the educational thing for Beltane in this video, but it's all about learning curves, isn't it? I'm all new to this. But yeah, right now I just want to get in bed. I'm going to get a nice cup of herbal tea. I'm currently reading this, Fourth Wing. Quite enjoying it. I'm not that far in yet. Only a couple of chapters in. But I've just finished Akatar, A Court of Thorn and Roses. And I feel like I loved that so much. I loved the last one even more than any of the rest, and I know a few people didn't really like that because it was like a different point of view, but I loved it. That was probably my favourite one. So, but I feel like when you go into a new book and there's new characters and you're sort of like world building as you go along, it's quite difficult to sort of like forget about the other book that you've just read. Maybe that's just me anyway. So I think I will get into it more as I get into more of the chapters and read more of the chapters. But yeah, book recommendations as well, put in the comments. I love anything fantasy. But yeah, I've got a whole list. After I've read these, I'm going to read, what am I reading next? Throne of Glass. And then, sorry, I had to pause the video there because the kids came running through the house. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, Throne of Glass next. I want to get that read because before the next Akatar books come out towards the end of this year, I feel people have been saying I need to read Throne of Glass. I don't know how true that is, but I need to read Throne of Glass before this next book comes out. So that's the plan. I'm gonna hopefully get through this, get cozy in bed. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this little vlog.